Originally, there weren't supposed to be any more videos about the Chaser, but the review made me find new flaws in the car, which will have to be fixed with some major parts. Performance. In this video, we're not discussing that now. We're focusing on things inside the car. I installed many sensors in the engine, but without their data and visuals, they're not very useful. So we're going to install a little control box that will allow me to have all the information about my car, this little box. I think you're going to like it and you'll want to buy one for yourself afterwards, once you see what it is. And then we'll start installing a big part on the chassis as well. We're back at Charles's workshop. That's it. We're going to be able to install this little box that I'm going to show you now on video. The can check is what's going to let me get a lot of information about the car, but in a certain way, I'll show you that. There were several options available to me, including the classic solution. That would have been in the Chaser, I'll show you. But it wasn't what I wanted. Honestly, putting a bunch of gauges on the dashboard, but to be completely honest, putting gauges on the dashboard, first of all, it bothers me because it lights up your face at night. It's unbearable. I would have needed to run wires all over behind the dashboard in every direction, which I don't like. Charles suggested this solution and demonstrated it on one of his minis. I chose the bigger version, but as you can see, the screen is still very small, much smaller than a phone. As you can see, it's kind of like an iPhone 3G from back in the day, for those who remember. And basically with this, it's going to centralize all my information. Charles is going to tap into the car's controller area network bus with the link, and then we'll configure the screen directly. That's what I want, so I can display anything. That's mainly what I'll want. Oil pressure, oil temp, coolant temp, all those details. Maybe even on a second page, right? It could be interesting to see now. What we're going to do is take out the control unit, so we can tap directly into the controller area network wiring. So this little box that I bought from CanCheck, I'll put all the links in the description. There are several models. I chose the largest for maximum visibility. But actually, he makes a round model that fits directly in the place of a pressure gauge. So that's pretty nice. Since I didn't have a mount, I chose this one because it gives me more space to attach it. Actually, a small screen, either at the gauge level or in the center console. Instead of putting in a gauge mount, it's not cheap. But when you add up several gauges, it ends up being less expensive. It lets you access information, customize settings, and is more accurate and faster. There was also the tablet option, but no, the tablet, clearly, I don't do it for the simple and good reason that the tablet actually, it annoys me that many people have connection issues, especially with Bluetooth, which isn't very reliable even with an adapter. You struggle, you start your car, it doesn't connect. The tablet, it doesn't have any battery left. You have to prop it up. The tablet, clearly, it's a hassle. Here, the advantage is you turn on the ignition and the device starts instantly with no connection issues since it's wired to the car's system. Information flows in real time. It's reliable, just like the original, which is exactly what I wanted. It just works when I start the car. There's no connection problem. You don't have to worry about anything. You just look, you have your information. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. So I'm going to show you where we're at now. I took everything apart again. I took out the engine control unit. I took out the center console. Now I'm going to see where I can run the unit. As you know, this engine control unit lets Charles do things like anti-lag and rolling launch control. We hadn't done it yet because there were other priorities to handle first. And he told me, I'll set up a little button for you and everything. You'll see. It'll be nice. Except now he just announced something pretty cool. Come on, tell me the good news you just told me.
The good news is that this one is the touch model and it can receive tram cans but also send them. So that means it can send information to the link, which means we can change modes if we manage to set everything up correctly. That's the most complicated part. You can put a page because you can scroll through pages.
Yeah, it works really well. Plus,
that's where we're going to put buttons. I don't know. So I'm imagining an anti-lag mode. If that could ever be useful for you in drifting, I don't know. Modes with different performance levels, maybe a cooling mode that turns on the fans for you.
Ah, yes, we can make a
little bit of idle. It's possible if we can get it to work. Then in the link, we can enable a lot of features.
You create and activate them using a cooling mode. Honestly, not a bad idea.
It's bad, I think about that.
Setting the fan to 2,000 revolutions per minute at full speed isn't a bad idea.
You can circulate the mess before shutting it off.
Yeah, turning it on for 2 minutes is smart. This little box will be cool.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get all this to work.
There's no reason it shouldn't work. We're with the professional.
That's it.
It's done, so I volunteered to do the cable soldering, something I won't do again. I had forgotten we'd already poked ourselves several times on the cigarette lighter for a positive after turning on the ignition. Since the cables are thick, adding small ones on top wasn't easy, but everything's connected, so we can do the first test with that little screen. We have the power supply here. We just need to reconnect inside the engine control unit because I disconnected a few things while soldering. And we'll be able to see if everything works and if we have the information. All right, I'm getting out now. Ignition. Okay,
It's turning on good.
that means at least I didn't make a mistake. First of all, it turns on properly as soon as you turn the ignition. Now it turned off, perfect, just flawless. We spent an hour customizing everything. Well, on the other hand, I highly recommend the case if you're hesitating to buy it because it's really amazing. So we set up several pages. I'll try to show you. Yeah, you should be able to see it clearly. Here's your page and here's my main page. That's what I wanted. Oil temperature, water temperature, oil pressure, intake temperature. On the right and below are various progress graphs. You can set the load temperature, the little green crescent, to know when it starts and when it ends. We made this secondary page more technical, old school, and visual.
That's the geek page.
Wow, that's the same. I won't touch it.
There's everything all at once and then something a bit smaller.
Yeah, to see the information.
Global information about electrochamps too. There's a bit of everything.
Yeah, there's a bit of everything, but it's already more readable.
Here you can see the Andirect when it's grayed out. That means it's not getting the info, so those channels are misconfigured or unconfigured.
But anyway, it's pretty good. It works really well. You can set up a background logo, of course, a startup logo, whatever you want. Do you want to try starting it up too?
I'd really like to do it with the PC, honestly.
We'll complete the settings, test it, then start it to get real-time information. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
All right, let's start to test it out.
Not bad, huh?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. That's it. Can check installation is done. We're home. Time to begin. Something with the front axle, basically. To make it short for you, my front axle is completely stock. Except for 2 Polac spacers, these are the same as those on E36 and E46. Unfortunately, I didn't know you can't just install these spacers. You need other parts. A longer lower arm, spacer lifts to raise your knuckle, and Polac spacers result. However, all these parts combined cost about the same as a wide angle kit. Reality check. I got my first big wide angle kit. I'll show you in the garage. Here's the wide angle kit that I'm going to install on the car. So, it's a kit that I bought directly from the United States, and it's handmade. That's cool, the green color, I mean. When I ordered, only the brand's color was available. The other options were gray or metallic. But, well, it wasn't available anymore, so I'm not too picky. Since it's behind the wheel, it doesn't matter, you can't see it. The quality is exceptional. I'm trying to show you, but I don't know if it will mean anything through the screen. But basically, the assembly quality, the quality of the welds. Look, everything is fully labeled with quality screws. Look at this part. That's just unreal, actually. I'm switching my entire front end to quality labeled parts, not cheap Chinese ones. Check out the machining. I don't know what all this is for, but I'm not an expert in wide angle kits. But hey, we should be able to figure it out. I can't wait to install this and set it up. Oh, those ball joints look great. Next, we'll bring the chaser here. Why am I doing this at home instead of at the garage at JMT? Simply because right after installing this, we're going to need to do an alignment urgently. And Panayotis, the one who takes care of my alignments, is literally 3 minutes from my place. If I had to leave from the garage, I refuse to drive with a messed up alignment for 25 minutes. Because the garage is 25 minutes away from where I get my alignments done, so I decided to do it at home, in the garage. It'll be a bit cramped. I'll show you as much as I can, and this way I can do it quickly. Afterward, I can take the car for alignment without the trailer, which is much easier. It should go well, but I'm not sure what to expect. We'll see. If it works out, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Let's go get the chaser. All right, let's go. First step, we're going to lift the car, put it on jack stands and everything, take off the wheel, and make a little space. I'll probably have to remove my brake kit and the rest too. I really hope you'll be able to see something because the space is pretty tight. Mosquitoes and the light are bothering me, but we'll manage. All right, okay, note to self, next time, never do this kind of work again. In my garage, I got completely stuck, getting to the tools like an idiot. Before even lifting the car, it hasn't even started yet, and I'm already annoyed. No, but before I met Nico, the videos weren't like this. Look, here like Everything fits by the millimeter, and my toolbox is right there, and of course, I can't go around the outside. That's Nico's fault. There, the impact wrench, we've got it. But damn. Oh, my arm's mud. Oh, damn, I can't open the drawer with the batteries. Oh, it's fine. We can start. And why am I not doing this outside? Because the light is way too strong. There's way too much sun. First, you won't see anything. Second, I'll get sunburned and overheated. I'm already fed up, and I haven't even started. Enjoy it, because the other side I'll do off camera, I think. Wow, look at the state of the car, the state of the shocks. Damn, I really didn't go easy on it the last time I used it. We're going to clean everything up, all of it. All right, now we're going to try to take it apart and figure out actually what changes and what stays the same. I'll show you some short sequences step by step. It's really hot, and I have to admit, age has made everything a bit stiff. I'll take everything apart and get back to you when I can see things more clearly. It'll be easier that way. Thank you. I had a bit of trouble with this ball joint here. It just wouldn't come off, but it's done now. I went to a friend's place to get a ball joint puller, and it came off right away. Except now, I'm stuck with this sway bar link, and the nut is actually turning with the link. My buddy just told me to put some pressure on it, and it should come off. So I'm gonna try that. But I feel like this is pretty much the last step before I can install the wide angle kit. And honestly, it's not a walk in the park. Let's not kid ourselves, it really isn't. These are parts that have never been taken off the car, so it's tough. If you know what I mean, I'm not really sure how I'm going to manage to put pressure on it. We'll try, I'll give it a shot with this. I used a lot of penetrating oil, but it still won't move. I'm considering heating it up since I've been at this for a while. In short, it's not complicated. It's Wednesday and I need to get this installed and do my alignment before I drive the car on Saturday. If I break the tie rod, I'm screwed. Well, maybe I can try to find a similar tie rod. It has a simple shape, so I might find one. That's all I have left, and I can install my part. After that, I'll need to check this since we shortened it. Hopefully, assembly won't be a hassle. We'll see. Same for this. If I have to buy it, I'm screwed. What a stupid idea to get into this when you need the car in 3 days, right? It's a nightmare when these things are welded like this. I managed to do it 15 minutes later and I didn't damage the tie rod. Now I have to get it out. That's another story. It should be fine now. There shouldn't be more trouble. I'm going to remove the bottom of the shock absorber by taking out the 2 bolts. Do I need to? No, I don't need to remove the 2 bottom bolts, just the shock absorber bottom and cover. All right, let's go. Well, I stopped filming because, unfortunately, the operation, it's starting to shine. It's a disaster. I'm desperate. Fortunately, I have a buddy who lives nearby who works as a mechanic on his own. And strangely enough, he always comes to my place to help me out of trouble. Every time I got myself into a bit of a risky operation at home. The last time, it was with a Jeep. I can't even remember what I messed up, but he came to save my life. You'll see we're filming it again. His name is Jeremy. Whenever I call for help, he always gets me out of trouble. It's unbelievable and rare. My savior, you know? All I have left is to unscrew this damn screw. I've literally been working on it for 40 minutes. I'm fed up. 40 minutes. I took everything apart. I took apart my shock absorber. I took apart the bar stab link. I took apart my steering knuckle. I took everything apart. It's a mess. I've taken apart my whole front end, and this screw just won't come out. I'm trying to cut it with some kind of Dremel, but it's not working. So I said, forget it. Knowing I still have the other side to do, it just ruins me, as they say. No, I'm fed up. I've had enough. I'm sick of it. It's everywhere. It's a scandal. I'm waiting for Jeremy to see if he can help me. He usually manages. I'll try bribing him to stay so we can do the other side together. And after that, I won't touch it anymore. I'll stop there. So let me introduce Jeremy, who came to save my life once again. So now it's started, I just have to keep my hands out of it, so it's good. We cut it, here's the screw. He came, he cut the screw, He used the battery for the light, so he cut the screw, tried to take it out. But unfortunately, the screw was completely eaten away by rust inside. Look, I'll show you, we'll leave it like this. Because anyway, the part is held in place, and by this huge screw here, and by other screws on the side. So, technically, it really shouldn't move at all. There will also be the shock absorber that will hold this part. We made a few small changes here in the corner as well. I'll show you on the other one. Here, this is where it is. I made a small cut with the grinder here because it was touching a part. That was adjusted. He mentioned an adjustment, but I don't recall where, so that must be it. We're now slowly reinstalling the front axle and sway bar links. I'll also need to change it, so we're going to put back the front part of the wide angle kit. And I think that's it, actually. Are you going to let me work on the car at some point? Or, I don't know if you want to, but honestly, I don't want to, I'll be honest with you. I'm fed up with it. No, you're not touching it, so either I assist you or sometimes I still get my hands in there a bit. But only if you want. But yeah, I'm fed up with it now. But it's corroded, right? These are parts that are 25 years old. The screws are fused, but fortunately, the car doesn't have any. Oh no, there's no corrosion. No, there's no corrosion. It's just the screws that are fused together. What? We'll work on the other side, fix this quickly, then I'll take it for alignment. Well, in the end, this car won't have a wide-angle kit. So, we just finished installing the right side, the driver's side, and the wheels already stick out a lot. I'll show you from the back. It's much more discreet. I'll show you real quick. So, how does it steer? So now, the wheels turn, so yeah, it's amazing. It turns a lot and everything. It's great, but that's it. That's where it ends. We take it apart and put it back to stock. It's such a shame. I'm really disappointed. But we have a problem you were explaining to me earlier.
It's that the wheel doesn't have enough caster. We're too far back, and to steer left it's fine, but to steer right we're going to tear off the whole fender. The wheel arch.
There, I can only steer this way when I turn the wheels right. It comes to rest completely against the rocker panel and the wheel arch, so it's undrivable. Totally undrivable. And since I need the body, Saturday, instead of working on the left side, we put everything back to stock. We restore it to original. Great, here we go again. I'm so happy. We'll meet again the next day. Sorry already for the previous shots. I'm not sure why the microphones weren't connected, but you heard the camera audio, so I did my best to fix it. I'll explain a bit more in detail where I messed up. There's a bit of my fault and also a bit from the kit supplier, Grand Tang. It wasn't clearly stated that installing this kit required adjustable control arms, and that it would widen the wheels that much. There's a bit of my fault in the sense that maybe I should have looked into what I was buying a bit more. As you know, I want this car to be versatile, meaning that it can be useful to me for both drift events and weekend bread runs. So with wheels sticking out 10 centimeters on each side with crazy camber. Visually, it's not exactly discreet, if you see what I mean. I have to make choices and compromises with this car compared to what I want, and I won't be able to install this huge Grand Tang kit, which is a real shame because it looked really cool. But that's just my issue. I want that. So now I'm waiting for Jeremy to return so we can tap the threads. We can now replace the screw we removed to restore it to its original state. And this screw actually holds a rocker system to support the shock absorber. So I'm gonna keep it, you never know anyway, since I'm fully equipped. Toyota Lexus works with several brands, such as the Sport Coupe 430. I might reuse it here. So we'll return the car to stock and I'll take it for alignment since I didn't track the tie rod turns. The goal wasn't to reinstall the original part, so I won't film that. It's fine to skip. But I do have something interesting. That means I wanted to push this car a bit more to make it even better for drifting. And there's going to be a little surprise. I'm about to install my final engine mod, converting to an electronic throttle body. And after that, everything mechanical on the Chaser will be done. The next time you see this car on the channel, it will be for that little surprise. I was invited to round 2, which has unfortunately already passed, of the Viking Cup, but I couldn't make it. I was also invited to round 3. I'm competing in France for the first time, though I've participated in competitions abroad before. Competing in the amateur category, this car will race in September at the La Ferté-Gaucher circuit during the Viking Cup. The atmosphere seems amazing. I said yes right away. I still need to do a few little things so that it meets the standards required for this competition, but normally there shouldn't be any reason. We'll be there. The HKS is finally here. I've had it for a week waiting to unbox it, so let's open it together. Yeah, no more noise, so the Chaser's on the lift right now. because actually we're doing a different adjustment on my suspension. And I'm also redoing a small part of the wiring for my oil pressure sensor because I had a little problem with it. It was entirely my fault. I had routed the wiring too close to the exhaust manifold. It burned it. So that's fixed now. I also changed 2 stabilizer bar links, but mainly that's it. This video aims to remove the titanium exhaust line. As you know, the car is completely decatted and it makes an insane noise. I invested in an exhaust line after waiting 4 months. HKS has an extra muffler compared to the titanium model and, more importantly, meets JASMA standards, meaning it's approved in Japan. So if there's an exhaust, that will help muffle engine noise, now that it's decatted. I'm using this one because the titanium has amazing sound, but now it gives me a headache. This Tomy titanium exhaust works great for a car with its catalytic converter and original turbo. When you go for a big build, it's just not possible anymore. I just hope the exhaust comes with gaskets. First, the rear muffler is much larger. That's a serious silencer. There you go. It's good that it's repainted like that. It's protected, so serious silencer. So, I waited 4 months for this exhaust. W Autosport sold it to me. Not that it was hard to get or anything. Well, actually, it was hard. In fact, it didn't exist anymore. I'm really happy, which is why it took so long. I was waiting in line for the custom-made HKS line designs, nearly tailor-made. It's finally here, so all good. First of all, I see there are stickers, gaskets, and screws, and the new muffler's here, full diameter. Anyway, it's here, so normally with this yes, the tip won't be blue anymore. It'll be chrome. On the other hand, you can already tell the muffler's much bigger, so it's built for high power. Yes, it's still light, but heavier than titanium. I even feel like the outlet is bigger than the Tomei one. So, normally everything is included. You don't need any extra parts. Everything comes with it. Now, installation. I won't film the exhaust installation since Thibaut has to keep raising and lowering the car. Sometimes I'm underneath and can't have his camera set up above. It's a hassle, especially since he's working on my car and the chassis too. So I'll finish installing the exhaust and I'll get back to you once it's done to show you what it looks like underneath. And most importantly, the sound. Final finishing touch. Happy, it looks nice. It's nice, I admit. What did I put? 10 minutes to put it together. It's really great. I love it. Come on, I'll show you. Look how nice it is. It's really stylish. Perfect alignment, no problem at all. For that, we trust HKS. There's a second little engraving here on the side. The pod, as you see it like this, is much bigger. And above all, there's this extra part, and that's cool. It then connects directly to the downpipe. Now, first startup, knowing that the sound, like the whole exhaust system, has about a good 1,000 kilometers on it. To give it time for all the internals to burn in properly, there's still quite a big gap in there. But I think I'm going to be very surprised. That's for sure. It changes the sound. It's more rock and cavernous, but much less harsh on the ears. Oh yeah, no, it's nothing like that, and it's going to happen. Yeah, I think it'll be much better. I'll stand a bit farther so you can hear it. Go ahead and tap it. And besides, I can add a baffle to it if needed. But at least now, I can use it every day, and especially on the tracks. Oh well, we're going to show you some shots of the car driving outside. Come on, I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. Oh, did you see that flame? Oh damn, did you see that flame? What a machine. Dude, there was a crazy flame. I don't believe you. You don't want to do it again? Come on, try again. No flame, but pig. We're back home for some good news and some bad news. Unfortunately, I'll give you the bad news first. The bad news is that the car you see there, well, you won't see it anymore. Actually, the decision didn't come from me. I'm not happy about it, but why won't you see the Chaser on my channel anymore? Rest assured, I'm not selling my dream car. Now that it's finished, but that's exactly why you won't see it anymore. It's because it's finished. I have nothing left to do on it for you. There will be some small modifications, but honestly, they won't require videos on my channel. It's really just little things, changing some hoses. Maybe eventually I'll switch to an electronic throttle body, which I'll have to do, but making a whole video about switching to an electronic throttle body, I'm not sure that's something you'd really enjoy. Actually, me neither. That's why I decided to let you know the Toyota Chaser will no longer be on my channel. But on the other hand, you'll still see it, honestly, maybe in the background or something like that. It may show up in some videos and in my Instagram stories, which I'm displaying at the bottom of the screen if you aren't following me yet, because that shows you a bit of my daily life. So since I use it a little every day, so you'll keep seeing it on Insta. We're not saying goodbye yet. The good news is we're taking one last ride as a final hurrah, where I'm going to try to let you enjoy this car as much as possible, meaning with some really cool mic placements and the most immersive point of view shots I can get. That way you'll be able to enjoy this car and hear the sound of the turbo, the sound of the wastegate, the exhaust note, just like if you were really behind the wheel.